Can micro-welding replace soldering in jewelry metal smithing? Let's find out in today's video. Hi, my name is Basia and today I'll be using a Helix Welder by Pepe Tools in several projects. From permanent jewelry to repairs, there are tons of uses, so let's jump right in. I'll quickly set up the welder and protective screen. If you don't have a screen, make sure you're protecting your eyes by using special darkened goggles. Our first project is this necklace. I want to close the jump ring that connects two elements, a leaf imprint in fine silver and a bezel with turquoise. Both are very delicate and traditional soldering would be very difficult now. Welding the jump ring close was super quick and I've cleaned it with a special fiberglass brush. You can also use additional tools to clean, sand and polish the spot so that it's invisible. Next, I want to create needles that are bold on one side for beads. I'm using sterling silver wire here. There we go, that's it. That's how fast it was. Now let's see if it's big enough to keep the bead in place. That looks great, very delicate and no cleanup was needed. Now let's try creating some permanent jewelry. It can be a delicate chain that was welded directly on your wrist or ankle, leaving just enough space for a comfortable fit. You don't take it off until, of course, you're ready to remove it by cutting through the jump ring. I will be using a dainty gold-filled chain and a single gold-filled jump ring today that were supplied with the welder. I'm actually going to attempt to weld it directly on my own wrist. We'll see how that goes. It was a bit tricky to connect the chain with the jump ring, but I made it. After closing it with the pliers, it's ready to be welded. Single weld and the job is done. A quick cleanup with a brush and that's it. This is a perfect tool for anyone interested in starting out a small business focused on permanent jewelry. Now this is the project I was secretly most excited about. I've had this little cage-like structure for a couple of years after a failed design and didn't know how to finish it nor had the motivation. I wanted to place something inside but wouldn't be able to solder it close without heating up the entire piece and possibly heat damaging whatever crystal was placed in there. So, I'll use the welder to weld the bottom plate in place. I'm filing down the edges to make sure they're flush with the metal sheath. Let's pick a crystal to place inside. I have several options, but I think I like this carnelian ball the most. It's vibrant and will be more visible. I'll start by welding one edge first to connect the pieces together and keep them in place while sewing out the rest of the sides. Okay, now I'm attaching the clip-on to connect the metal with the welder. All of the edges are flush, so it will be easy to weld. Sorry, the camera focus got messed up here. But then, while welding, I couldn't help the feeling that something was missing. Have you noticed? Yup! I forgot to put the carnelian ball inside before welding and now it's too late. I don't want to cut it off and mess up the entire piece, so I'll finish welding and I'll try to figure out something later. This is how the weld turned out. I went all the way around and made sure to place each weld right next to another. I'll clean it up with the Eve abrasive silicone attachment, the white one. It's great for this job, cleans up and smooths out everything in seconds. It looks great, I'm very happy with it. The weld spots aren't noticeable and are smooth. Such a shame I forgot to put that ball inside, but let's see what can be done. I've cut through the wire, making a small opening. Maybe I can still fit something through there, like this turquoise nugget. I'm not sure I like it. Let's try some raw crystals. I have lots of tiny amethyst ones. I think this will be better. I'll put some ruby beads in there as well to add some color. How will I close it? I'm glad you asked. Well, using the welder, of course. Closing it with pliers first, and then just one quick weld was enough to secure the wire back in place. After cleaning it with the Eve attachment, there was no sign that it's ever been cut. I love this pendant now. It's so cute, and I think it looks much better than it would with that carnelian ball. What do you think? Maybe I'm biased because I love pink and purple, and without the welder, I don't think I'd ever finish this necklace. Now on to the next project. I've seen Randy from Gomio Creations using the welder to make stud earrings, so I wanted to give it a try. I'm using sterling silver. The alpaca is fairly thin, so I'm not sure how well it will work in my case here. I'm going to weld it in 3 or 4 spots. First one looked great, but I overdid the second one. It'll require some getting used to and learning the skill, so today I'm gonna use the welder to secure the ear post in place and then I'll solder it on. In this case, welding did not replace soldering, but it definitely helped a lot and made the process quicker and easier by holding the ear post in place without me needing to hold it or secure it in tweezers. How about making a bail for a pendant, and in this case, for a finished pendant with a stone? I've cut out this bail out of silver sheet and shaped it. I put it through the jump ring on the pendant and close it with pliers. To hold it, I will use the pliers from the set that can be attached to the welder. One weld and we're done. The bail has been welded and no solder is required. Not much to clean up either. I think the pendant looks better now with this type of bail than it did before. Maybe you're wondering about rings. If so, I have great news for you. You can very easily weld the rings and even repair or resize the finished ones. Add just the amount of jewels on the welder and you're good to go. For this ring, I've set the welder to 14 jewels. As previously, use files or attachments to clean up the spot and make it invisible. Here's an example of a ring that would be tricky to set up for soldering. You can connect the elements using the welder and then easily solder them in place or attach jump rings onto the metal. So, can this micro welder replace soldering? In some cases, absolutely, and in others it can't, but it can assist and help with easier and better soldering. Overall, I'm very impressed and I'll be using this welder in my work regularly. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much, Pepetals, for partnering with me on this awesome video, and thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!